welcome to my channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I thought I would share with you a couple of the little craft bits and pieces that I got over Christmas. I didn't get lots and lots, but I thought what I had was lovely and I would share it with you. So I hope that's something that you'd like to watch. Come along and see what I've got. So I'm sat here this afternoon with a nice cup of tea. It is really cold outside, but thankfully it's really dry. It has been absolutely horrendous for the last week and we're having our garden done at the moment. So it is like a mud bath out in our back garden. So if you can hear any noises going on in the background, I do apologise, but there's a workman out there and he's either banging and digging away at something or there's some kind of machinery going, and I've been trying to wait for a quiet point and I've given up. So I'm just going to get on and show you what it is that I've got. So like I say, I'm sat in the warm with my nice hot cup of tea and I'm going to share with you what I got for Christmas. So the first thing I wanted to share with you was something that Karen from So Little Time, and I'll put her name across the screen and I'll also put a link into her YouTube channel and Instagram underneath. So Karen and I have been friends for quite some time and we get on like a house on fire. We're always yapping to each other on the phone and talking about sewing, talking about keeping fit and eating well, talking about our kids and children and just really basically any old thing. And through the powers of Instagram we've met and we've become firm friends and it's just been absolutely lovely. So I went and stayed with her a little while ago, and as a thank you I added to her advent calendar and gave her a few little bits and pieces because I thought that'd be really nice for her to have some surprises in that. Then she sent me a little Christmas gift and I was so chuffed and so delighted with what I got. So she actually crocheted me a pair of wrist warmers and they are so fab. So they just look like oblongs, but they've got a thumb hole in them and they just keep your wrists nice and warm. So I'd call them fingerless gloves, but I heard her say that they were called wrist warmers. So I'm going to call them wrist warmers, but they're crocheted and they're really lovely. Look at the crochet on them. Really, really nice. And I think that makes it even more special is the fact that she actually crocheted them and didn't just buy them for me. They were just, yeah, really lovely, thoughtful present. And I absolutely love them. And I've worn them quite a few times already, going out on walks and things. If anybody is a dog owner, you'll know that you need your fingers to be able to pull bags out and treats out and things, and wearing gloves isn't great, but it's nice to keep your hands, the majority of your hands, nice and warm and have your fingers free for doing what you need to do when you've got a dog out on a walk. So that was my first thing that I wanted to share with you. I absolutely love them. I don't obviously know what the pattern is or anything like that, but if you want to know, I'm sure Karen will be able to tell you, so you could always pop over to her Instagram or her YouTube and ask her. But I love these, they're absolutely great. Apparently she's got a pair herself. In fact, I think I saw she had some on the other day and she said, well, mine are really old now and I need to make some new ones. But yeah, I absolutely love these. They don't really go with my red dress though, do they? But they look lovely under my grey coat that I made recently. So yeah, really pleased with those. The second item is another crochet item, but actually this time it's from my middle daughter Amy. Now if you've been following me for a while, you know that my daughter does a lot of knitting. She doesn't particularly crochet, it's not her favourite thing to do, but she will from time to time. And quite some time ago she made herself a cover for what I would call like an e-reader. So I've got this here, this is called a Remarkable, and basically you can write on it, it's just in black and white. It looks a little bit like what a Kindle does. It's just in black and white, but you can put PDFs and things on it. So I actually keep mine for putting all my PDF patterns, the instruction side of it on here, and then if I need to I can write on it and I can save it and what have you. It's really great, but it just comes in a box with this, but the box is quite big and cumbersome. And she's got one that she used for her university work and she made herself a cover, and I said, oh, I'd really like a cover. And she knows that I really like rainbows as well, so I'm just putting it back inside, hang on. She crocheted this for me. How gorgeous is that? I absolutely love it. I love those colours. Aren't they great? So just really beautifully crocheted, and then she's put it together with a little heart silver button, so that just literally comes off and it just keeps it a bit protected for me. So I really love that. Just a really thoughtful present. Nothing, you know, big and major, but something that I knew that I wanted. Oh gosh, you can probably hear that banging outside, I'm really sorry. But yes, I really love that. So I've got my crochet gloves, or my crochet wrist warmers, and my crochet remarkable protective cover. So I really love that. The next gift that I got was from my eldest daughter's boyfriend, and he is a lovely, lovely young man. Sounds really creepy, young man. He's a lovely lad, and he is really into books. Him and his family have a tradition of giving books to each other, and they're normally like quite vintage books, like really old books, and he gave every one of us a book, and it was a really lovely thing that he did. He made sure it was something that was very relevant to each of us, and he got me this book, which is called Slow Stitch. Now, I don't know if any of you watched the Sewing Bee, the last series that was on, but they did something that was called, oh no, what was it called? It's a Japanese technique where you do lots of repairs and things with lots of clever stitches. The word will come to me in a minute. I can't think what it's called at all now. And oh, sashiko, that's what it's called, sashiko. And this has got lots of things like that in it, and sort of showing you all the techniques of doing sashiko. So it's all hand stitching as opposed to machine stitching, but it's really interesting and just really beautifully pictured. And I haven't read any of it yet, I must say, but I have flicked through it and it looks absolutely beautiful, and I really would like to have a little go at doing this, but when I've got a little bit more time. But it's just a really beautiful book, and it just has these really lovely ideas in it and illustrations. And I know this is going to sound silly, but the book is really soft. It's a really nice texture. It just feels lovely, and I just think it's one of those things which is a really nice thing just to have in your book stash. It's just something really different to take out and have a look at. So it's called Slow Stitch, Mindful and Contemplative Textile Art, and it's by Claire Wellesley Smith. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful book, and I'm really very appreciative of it because it was a very thoughtful and lovely present that he got me to do with sewing. So keeping with the theme of books, I actually saw a book when I was out several months ago that I really fancied, and I asked my family if I could potentially have this book, and my husband actually got it for me. So I have recently tried to get into knitting a little bit, and I'm nowhere near like Amy, and I'm not as avid a knitter as what she is. She knits so fast and so beautifully, but I saw this book and I really liked some of the styles of the knitting that was in it, and I asked for this book. So the book is called Flutter, and it's Kim by Kim Hargreaves. Hargreaves, I think that's how you say it. And it's just a thin book. It's not a very big book, and I'll try and show you because there's a page with all of the knitted garments in it, and they're not going to come up very big on the screen, but I just really liked the different styles that were in there. Now they're all in greys and beiges. It's all very trendy and very fashionable. I'm sure I probably won't do it all in those sorts of colours, but I just really liked them. It's like this one here. I don't know if you can see that one. I quite like the texture and the sort of cabling look that's down it, and I thought it would be a new bit of a challenge for me. So I'm really delighted that they actually picked up on the fact that I said I'd like this book, and John got it for me. So I would like to try and have a bit of an attack on this book at some point. I mean, look at that cardigan. It's really lovely, really beautiful, sort of different stitch techniques and things in there. So I'm sure I'm going to have to ask Amy several times to help me, but she doesn't seem to mind. She always quite likes it. This one looks really lovely as well, sort of like a really thick ribbed type style cardigan. But yeah, I really like the idea of working through some of those, although I have already got quite a few knitting projects, and I don't think I should jump the queue. I think I should work through them in a really mindful way. So we'll see. But that was what my husband got me. So a couple of Christmases ago, one of my family, my husband or possibly one of my children, got me a hot hemmer, which is by Clover. And this is the one they got me a few years ago. And I use this all the time. Now, if you don't know what this is, it's a piece of fabric which can be ironed over without damaging it in any way whatsoever, but it has these markings on it so that you can measure, and it means that you can press up and hem, press up and iron up a hem on the thing that you're making, or a seam or what have you. And I absolutely love it. I use it all the time, and a couple of times I've misplaced it and I've kind of gone, oh, I need to make sure I find that again, because obviously it can slip in between things, but I absolutely love it. But they have now brought out, and that's what you've heard fall on the floor, they have now brought out a long hemmer. And I saw this, it was either advertised or somebody had it on one of their vlogs or something like that. I can't even tell you where I saw it, but I knew that it was coming out, and I asked my family if I could have this long hot hemmer. So it just means that instead of having to iron it a little bit and then move it along and iron it and move it along, it just means that I have a slightly longer area to be able to iron over. And it also, I haven't taken it out in the packet yet, but it also has this curve here, so you can go around, I would imagine sort of like a skirt hem or something like that, which is normally slightly curved. That's going to make it easier to iron over. Sorry, it's a bit shiny, isn't it, because it's still in its packaging. This one's great because it's got a sharper rounded corner, but this is going to be great for that slightly shallower curve that's on, say, like a full circle skirt or something like that. But I'm absolutely delighted with that. Haven't used it yet, but I will be, definitely. So that was the last of the sewing things. No, I had one more sewing tool that I was gifted as well. I'll show you that now. So my youngest daughter bought me something to hang on the door of my sewing room, and I absolutely love this. So she's bought me a sewing room sign, and it says, "Welcome to my sewing room." Isn't that great? Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know where she got it from. I will ask her, so if anybody does want to know where she got it from, I will be able to let you know. But yeah, it's just a wooden little sign, and I'm going to pop that on my door outside of my sewing room. I think that's really cute. I really like that. It's just things to make, personal touches in it, to make your home a little bit more homely and warm, and I really like that. So again, really nice that she bought something that was particularly related to something that I love doing. So yeah, really like that. So the last few things that I want to show you are things that I got given by Lizzie from Make Up 140. I'm one of the teachers at Make, and she gave us a few gifts, which was just so lovely of her and so thoughtful. I absolutely love Make. I think it's such a nice shop, and they've got such gorgeous fabrics, and Lizzie is just lovely. She's just a lovely lady, and I'm so delighted that I'm working there and I have the opportunity to work alongside her and the other amazing teachers that are at Make. So yeah, it's been really lovely. And although I've struggled a little bit with my time over the last year, Make is one of the things that I desperately wanted to make sure I didn't give up or spend less time at, because I just love it there so much. So we all went for a little bite to eat, and she gave a couple of us some gifts, and they were all wrapped up in a paper bag, which is on the floor, and then she tied them all up with some little remnants of fabric. Now, it's not enough to make anything, but this is just like a little viscosy thing, and she tied it up in a big bow. So I don't know, might even make a scrunchie out of that or something. But yeah, so that was on the bag, which isn't obviously the gift. And then I got this corner and edge shaper, which is a prim tool. Again, it's a bit shiny. If I hold it like that, it's not quite so shiny, but just really good for getting out the points on collars and things like that. And if you're turning a corner on a garment, like on the edge of a skirt or something like that, these are really good for doing that. It just means that you don't poke right through if you were doing it with a needle or a pencil or something like that. And I've wanted one of these for quite some time, so it was really great when I saw that she had given me that. Also, amongst our little gifts, she had put in a pin, and I just think this is absolutely beautiful. Isn't that a stunning pin? I really like that, really beautiful with the minty green and the pinks and purples against the white. Just a really pretty little pin. Not quite sure I'm going to put that on yet, but I will definitely find something to put that on. And that is by Punky Pins, and they've got a website, punkypins.co.uk. Yeah, I just really love that. I think that's beautiful, and it's just nice, isn't it, getting little bits and pieces like that. And then last but not least, she also included a mug. Now, I have to say, I've been coveting one of these mugs because she has them in her school, and she provides them for all the people that are drinking to have a cup of tea while they're not there, not to take away. And I've always thought, I quite fancy one of those mugs. And she put one in as a gift with our Christmas presents. So it is a bone china mug, which is really lovely to drink from, with a old-fashioned sewing machine on the front and reel of cotton on the back, and then inside it says, hey ho, it's off to sew I go. I just love that. Isn't that gorgeous? I just really love that. So I'm really delighted with all the little sewing bits and pieces that I got this Christmas, and I just thought it'd be really nice to share it with you guys. Let me know if you got anything for Christmas that was sewing related. Let me know if there is anything that you bought yourself as opposed to getting a Christmas gift, because that's just as much a Christmas treat, isn't it, sometimes, when you go and buy something for yourself as well. And yeah, I hope you all did have a good Christmas. I know this is coming out a little bit late because I think we're the 2nd or 3rd week in January now, but I just haven't had a chance to record this before now, but I thought it'd be nice to share it with you. Anyway, I will see you all again soon with my 1 week me made January. Bye.